call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
Jasmine Jasudavicius takes on Jéssica Andrade this Saturday at UFC 315. And I think this is going to be a really fun fight. I think this is going to be high-paced, a lot of action. I'm really looking forward to this one. Jasmine Jasudavicius making a quick turnaround in this one. She just fought February 1st against Mayra Bueno Silva, won that by unanimous decision. She is on a 4-fight winning streak right now. Bueno Silva, Ariane Lipski, Fatima Klein, and Priscilla Cachoeira. Her only losses are to Tracy Cortez, Natália Silva, and Elise Reed. So no shame in those losses. All of them are very high level. Has wins over Julia Palastri, Kay Hansen, and Gabriela Fernandez and Miranda Maverick, sandwiched in between some of those losses. But a lot of momentum right now, looking to stay busy. Had 3 fights in 2024 and looking to get her second fight in 2025 against Jéssica Andrade, who needs no introduction. Jéssica Andrade, former champion, always dangerous on the feet, tons of power. Just an absolute, kind of an absolute savage in there. So very, very intimidating, coming off a loss over Natália Silva, who we will see on this card back in September. Before that, beat Marina Rodriguez and beat Mackenzie Dern by knockout. Has lost to Tatiana Suarez, Yan Jonan, Aaron Blanchfield. So also only losing to very high-level fighters. She's fought the who's who. She has tons of experience. You would think that she was 38, 40 years old, but she is only 33. Still getting after it. As dangerous as ever. But I gotta go with Jasmine Jasudavicius in this one. Like I mentioned earlier, tons of momentum going into this one. She's looked great. She is going to be 3 years older, which is concerning. But she also got a late start in MMA. I don't think, like, she's got a major wrestling base, and that's her primary attack. But didn't grow up wrestling. Just really started training when she transitioned to MMA. Didn't have her first amateur MMA fight till 2017. So really only been doing this for 8 years since she was in her late 20s. So it's not like she's had a long storied career of taking damage. She's fairly new in the game, and she doesn't take tons of damage as it is. She's never been finished. She only loses by decision. And you don't really see her get hurt very much. She's got a good chin. She doesn't move her head very well. But it seemed to work for her. She's got decent striking, really good wrestling and takedowns, kind of uses her striking to open up her takedowns. And she's one of those fighters who's not looking to just hold on to you on the ground. She's looking to do damage, not just to control you. She wants to, force you to move so that she can get openings on the ground to land her strikes or get her chokes. She absolutely dominated Ariane Lipski da Silva on the ground, finished her by Darce choke, finished Priscilla Cachoeira by Darce choke. She had dropped her in that fight as well, which is a good feather in her cap, considering Priscilla Cachoeira is an absolute dog coming off of that, viral knockout over Josiane Nunez. So, very well-rounded, I would say. She has really good cardio. She's always pushing the pace, always looking to get her takedowns. That's what we saw in her last fight against Mayra Bueno Silva, just relentless with it, getting the takedowns, controlling, landing strikes on the ground. And I think that's what she's going to do in this fight. I really do. Jéssica Andrade, tons of experience, very tough. She's got like a 70 to a 75% takedown defense, so that's going to be a challenge for Jasudavicius, but Jasudavicius is going to be much bigger. She's going to be like 6 inches taller. Yeah, she's going to be 6 inches taller, and she's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. I would give the striking advantage to Jéssica Andrade just in terms of skill and power, but it's going to be hard for her to land her strikes when she's given up 6 inches of reach, when she's constantly worried about the takedowns, when Jasudavicius is constantly pressing forward, looking to push her against the fence. It's going to be hard for her to get her offense going when she's constantly thinking, when's the takedown? Is she throwing a shot or is she shooting a takedown? And I think Jasudavicius can kind of freeze her all night and eventually get her takedowns. Jasudavicius, on the other hand, she's not as old, but she has been doing it for a lot longer. She's been in the UFC since 2013. Which is just insane. Since she was 21 years old, she's been in tons of wars. She's been knocked out herself and obviously taken a lot of punishment through the years. And I just think we've kind of seen the best years of her gone by. She lost to Suarez, who's a monster grappler. Yan Jonan, who's very good striker, very big. Aaron Blanchfield, again, very good grappler. And it seems like that's the recipe for success against Andrade. You can't stand with her. You know, if you stand with her, you're really rolling the dice. And we saw Natália Silva had success, but she's very high level. I'm picking her to beat Alexa Grasso this weekend. So I think Jasmine Jasudavicius has the perfect fighting style to get this one done. I think she's going to be bigger. She's going to have the better wrestling, the better gas tank. She's going to stay safe on the feet, get her takedowns, wear on Jéssica Andrade, and look to get the decision win or the submission. Thanks.
You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.